Hello, everyone, and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires. Today, military wood discount takes on military food discount as Hera, playing as the Koreans in red, prepares to take on MBL, playing as the Incas in blue. Now, while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate goat surroundings, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, or maybe just head straight across the map, why the hell not? Why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today while keeping an eye on this very adventurous Incan Eagle Warrior. Eagle Scout at this point. Let's see what kind of shenanigans MBL and his scout are going to get up to today. The Koreans, a civilization classified as defensive, but you wouldn't really know it from how players are using it. All Korean tower upgrades are free of charge, and starting in the Castle Age, they can be upgraded to get +2 extra range. Both of these features make them pretty damn good on the aggressive side of things that help you build these structures. Korean stone miners work 20% faster, and once they get out onto the map looking for perhaps some extra stone beyond their initial primary patch, they are nice and safe and secure because they come with +3 line of sight. So if you want to attack them, they see you coming. Oh, here we go. Shenanigans already. This game, I can already tell this game is going to be amazing. MBL has teefed a goat. Hera, will he get the goat back? For now, it looks like he is more interested in pushing the ostrich, so the answer might be a big fat no here. MBL, though, he's not done. Hey, MBL, I'm trying to get through the Korean Civ features, and you're disrupting me with the Incan play here. In any event, if you want to be a little bit more mobile with your warfare on the map, oh no, oh no, oh no. I apologize. This very rarely happens. MBL has now taken 300 food from the mouths of the very hungry Korean villagers. And here, oh, if he only doubled back, he would get 400. But this is absolutely incredible. Immediate laming of 300 wood. Hera doesn't have a freaking clue that this is happening, or he might have a clue. We'll find out how he deals with this. In any event, if, as the Koreans, you want to be a bit more mobile with your military, their army does come with a few pretty powerful features. To start with, as I mentioned in the intro, all Korean archers and infantry units cost 50% less wood. They get the archer unit upgrades. Pardon me, archer armor upgrades. My goodness, I don't know. I am just so distracted by the goat play of our Incan right now that I am just absolutely studying all over myself. They get all archer armor upgrades free of charge. So as Hera hits the next stage, we'll keep an eye out on the top left side of our screen. See these squares light up one by one. The minimum range on their mangonel line units are reduced from 3 to 1, which is a godsend to players who want to practice their attack round skills. And by the way, those same mangonels whose minimum range goes down from 3 to 1, they can be upgraded to get +1 range, which makes them actually outrange many towers and even castles in the mid to late stages of the game. Now, if you're tired of playing defense, you want to roam around the map looking for kills, you can turn to the Korean unique unit, the War Wagon. This is a mounted archer unit with a very healthy amount of HP, high base pierce armor, and one of the strongest base attacks of any archer, foot or mounted, in the game. Remember, because the War Wagon, as cool as it looks, is technically still just an archer unit, it does benefit from the free archer upgrades and wood discount that I mentioned in the Civ intro. And oh my goodness, if only MBL was the Gurjaras. Can you imagine garrisoning 11, I mean, not obviously not 11, but 10 goats while it's slaughtering one? Pretty damn cool. Now remember, one of the features of the Incas we'll discuss at the end is that they do come with that extra llama. So not only did he get 100 extra food right from the very beginning of the game, he also lamed 300. That's a 400 food swing. We'll see if Hera decides to punish this with perhaps an ostrich lame. In any event, let's take a look at the Incas, because this game, already on a route to feudal age, is spiraling out of my control. At the very least, my casting is spiraling out of control. Oh, if only you were the Celt. If only you were the Celt, you could become a goat stealer. But MBL keeping his goats nice and secure for now. Hera trying to get the town center to accidentally kill the goats, but okay, while he does that, oh, he might actually get it. He might actually force the kill. He does force the kill on one of them. Okay, so there we go. 400 food swing has become 300. 300 lame has become 200. So Hera gets a little bit of revenge. All right, let's take a look at the Incas, because Hera's in feudal age in 6 seconds. Pretty much a quintessential counter civilization. If your opponent goes Cavalry. Well, you can counter them with your first unique unit, the Kamayuk. This is a ranged infantry unit that carries a very long spear, comes with a massive attack bonus against all manner of mounted units. If your opponent goes infantry, well, you can rely on your other unique unit, the Slinger. Oh no! Oh no! 200 food revenged by our Korean, but we'll see how far Hera takes us, because this scout is basically a few volleys away from being minced meat. Now, if your opponent goes infantry, you can rely on your other unique unit, the Slinger. This is an archer unit that comes with a pretty big +10 attack bonus against infantry and can be upgraded to get an even bigger +1 attack. Now, if your opponent goes archers, perhaps, as we are, let's not say going to, but likely to see out of our Koreans, well, the Incas can rely on their skirmishers, which not only get every single archery range, blacksmith, and university upgrade, but can also be upgraded to have absolutely no minimum range whatsoever, which does remove one of their biggest weaknesses. Now, to make the Incan army last a little bit longer on the battlefield, their Kamayuks, their Slingers, their Eagle Warriors can all be upgraded to get extra melee and pierce armor, and to help them build their massive military industrial complex. Their military units cost less and less food as the game goes on. 10% off in Dark Age, all the way up to 25% off if we're lucky enough to see Imperial. Now, the Incas do start the game, as I mentioned earlier, with a free llama, which may not sound like much, but it is an extra unit to scout the map with. And at the very least, 100 extra food for free. Their buildings cost 15% less stone. Their houses support 10 population space instead of the usual 5, which does free up a little bit more wood in your coffers, in your purse strings for military earlier on. And their villagers are harder to raid. Unlike the Korean villagers who see you coming from a mile away, the Incans may not care so much, because their villagers benefit from infantry blacksmith upgrades starting in the Castle Age. And by the way, if you take a look at the top right of your screen, you'll notice they get every single infantry blacksmith upgrades. So it only took 12 minutes to get through this Civ introduction. But I'm glad this happened. I'm glad I got distracted. I'm glad I had a little bit of we got to see a little bit of a silly start. MBL laming 3 goats, only to have 2 of them slaughtered, one by his own hand accidentally, although is it really accidentally if Hera had it planned that way all along, and the other by Hera's scout as he risked it, not for the biscuit, but for the goat. And so, what an absolute epic start. On the whole, though, to be fair, MBL, 1 extra goat from his opponent, 1 extra goat from his civilization, is 200 food. Oh, pardon me, I think my mic derped out there. It is 200 food ahead of his opponent, which I would normally say 4 villagers, but with decay, let's be realistic. Decay is a real factor, so probably 3 villagers worth of food. Although you wouldn't know it, both players sitting on 29 villagers a pop. MBL does have a bit more army supply, about 20-25% more army, 15 to 12. And now he is returning home? Question mark? Okay. How much of the wall off did he see that it scared him? Okay, so he saw the wall off, realizing that his opponent probably walled off to the north as well. And so there's no real point in trying to engage into this with a what looks like a half-dead feudal age army here. I mean, this scout definitely has a death wish, right? He's got 6 HP on him. Sees no more goats. Let's take a look at the map, by the way, the attack path, because I absolutely got completely derailed from my usual game introduction, which, to be fair, sometimes is a good thing. You know, jostling up the norm is not a bad thing. But wait a second, is he going to lose his scout? He does. MBL, in addition to being goat thief extraordinaire, does manage to draw first blood. Attack path between the 2 bases, aside from this 1 forest, neutral forest in the center, pretty much a big open space. Primary gold and stone for our Korean to the rear. Pretty good location. Hera has walled himself in, availed himself of 3 forests, which are in a pretty nice little V-shaped position here. And 2 primary patches of resources, extra stone and gold, and a neutral stone off to the left. And where is his 3rd patch of gold? It is up to the top right. He is not taking this lumber right now, preferring to get the rear wood, because why the hell would he take the more exposed one when he could take the safer one at this stage of the game? MBL, who's just beginning to wall off his base right now. Primary gold, kind of off to the side, not really on the attack path. Primary stone also off to the side, kind of to the rear. Also looks like he's walling himself in with his 2 primary resources. Both golds are here in the forward left position, extra stone forward right position. MBL, though, he is just sitting on 15 army supply. Hera is now going up to Castle Age off the back of 3 fewer villagers. MBL, how far away are you? Oh, just a little bit more food, a little bit more gold. He is buying and selling what us pros in the industry call balancing his economy, and he is going to hit Castle Age a minute and a half after his opponent. Might be a good opportunity for him if he knew that he was a minute and a half, like we know, to send his army across the map, and that's exactly what he's doing. If you can keep Hera pinned back for a minute and a half while you get your Castle Age shit in order, then you are in a good spot. Unfortunately, MBL, no more stone for him. Hera does still have his 200 stone and enough wood right now for an extra town center. That being said, I was going to say Hera looked like he fully Howard Hughes himself in here. No way in, no way out. And then he just deletes one of the palisades. MBL at least built a gate here that he can use to, you know, exit stage left of his base. Whereas Hera, who's now moving out, going to get the Bodkin. I'm assuming elite skirmishers are going to follow. There it is. Oh my goodness. 9 more skirmishers pop out. So remember, every single Korean archer unit and infantry unit, although on the whole, I believe, like I mean, I always ask people in the comments to let me know if I'm wrong or right. I think the only infantry unit that the Koreans have that costs wood, or to be fair, the only infantry unit in the game that costs wood is the spearman line units, right? I can't think of any other infantry unit that costs wood as part of its compositional price makeup, or I'm sure there's a simpler way to say that. It didn't have to be so complicated. In any event, Hera now lays siege to this palisade gate, but a quick set of houses behind this is going to keep this nice and safe, especially from a band of skirmishers. 1 knight, 2 knight might be a problem, but one of those knights is here to the rear chasing eagles. He's also up here pushing in with 2 spearmen as they tinkle. Let's see if these skirmishers, I mean, who doesn't love to see these javelins being thrown and missing every single volley? Looks like Hera did manage to get that Eagle Scout getting his first kill of the game. And MBL just saying, okay, you know what? You're trying to bust into my northeast. You're trying to bust into my west. What's the HP looking like on these houses? Pretty damn good. I'm just going to do the same thing to you. And by the way, you forgot to plug up the leak in your bucket. And so my skirmishers are actually just going to walk right in, make themselves at home. Always reminds me, every time something like this happens, it reminds me of that Dave Chappelle skit with Rick James and his muddy boots on the couch. I was going to say this is going to go very bad for these skirmishers, but in come a pair of eagles, a pair of spearmen. Okay, they die basically immediately. But they've at least taken the knight's HP down with them. And now the numbers very much, I think, in MBL's favor, depending on how healthy these knights are. Okay, he's going after the weaker one first. Smart move. Takes the high ground. Hera peels the weaker one with 5 HP off. Smart move by him. Looks like he's not making that much progress in the front of MBL's base here. Okay, maybe catching a random reinforcing skirmisher, spearman rather. But a siege workshop is up. I mean, Hera needs to wall this in. Easier said than done when there's 14 skirmishers bearing right on top of you, but right onto your head. But MBL uses the gap yet again, gets the first villager, second villager kill of the game. And now he's targeting the knight, even though there's basically a dead villager here on the north part of the screen. Okay, so he's just going to be causing a lot of trouble, and there is not too much. There's that 5 HP knight. Hera wasn't paying attention to him, and he gets gunned down immediately. But let's see what 2 healthy knights and 1 sickly, not so healthy knight. Oh my god. Oh, that was so, could have been so potentially dangerous. That could have been so potentially dangerous, walling that in. And it looks like these spearmen pivoting from the market got themselves a palisade gate, and now they're inside the base. Both players making themselves very much at home, rubbing their muddy feet on the couches of their opponents. But Hera's pulled back his primary offensive force. The knights close in on the skirmishers. 4 knights, 5 knights, 2 of them basically full health. But now they're chasing. MBL is running But oh no, never mind. Hera left that part open. We'll see how long they last as a battle erupts here in the front of MBL's base. High ground skirmishers look like killed an equal amount of low ground skirmishers there. Hera has a monk to help heal his units while battle rages on. It looks like those skirmishers obviously got cleaned up. Once those knights enter the minimum range, we are not yet in the castle age for the Inca, and so no Andean sling just yet, which is the name of the upgrade that removes the minimum range of those skirmishers. So things have settled down 26 minutes in. Let's take a look at what's going on, because MBL's got 7 villager kills. Hera has more military kills, but on the whole, I mean, it's skirmisher kills. So it's, you know, it's a good kill count to have ahead of your opponent, but it is mostly skirmishers back home. Not much ado-ing. Come on, plug this up. You are facing a Meso civilization. You have no clue. Oh my goodness, right as I say it, when the Eagles are going to show up. Army counts 19 to 17. Hera's got 1 offensive Mangonel prowling. He does not know that MBL has 3 defensive Mangonels. And what else does he got? That's not proper. What else does he have? 8 knights, 2 monks. MBL starting to add in eagles. They are now warriors. 2 of them are being trained. 1 spearman. Where even is the spearman? Okay. Hanging out to the north. MBL, for his part, also not plugging the hole in his armor. I don't know if this is honestly... This might be actually connected in Age of Empires logic. Doesn't really look like it. Let's see if Hera notices that this might be open here. I'm assuming it's not, because he's sending his army straight into the welcoming arms of a monk who shits the bed when it comes to random number generation, but the Mangonels get a juicy 3-night kill. Unfortunately, they take one of the farmers down with them, and now the Mangonels will all fall. Eagles in castle, +3 attack bonus against cavalry means that these knights have outlived their stay here, outwelcomed their stay. But that was not a bad get there for Hera. 3 Mangonels, a villager, and a monk is a very expensive loss for our Inca, who... Okay, come on. Somebody show us if this is closed or not. Deletes a palisade wall to the left, and now he's moving out. Okay. Okay, maybe he's not moving out. 4 eagles certainly are moving out. Upgrades non-existent except for the armor upgrades, which right as I finish the sentence goes up to +2. Hera desperate for a villager kill here. Let's see what he can accomplish. Hera, he's got 2 Mangonels. He's brought basically the Korean battering ram without battering rams. Mangonels, knights, and monks. And MBL back home, not really defending with anything other than a couple of eagles and a few skirmishers as he sends 4 eagles. And again, neither player plugging up the holes in their base. But you know what? One has eagles, one has knights. Oh, the eagles are coming in from the north. Decent attack run out of Hera. Clips a few, gets 1. And let's see who takes this battle. 1 Mangonel falls, a 2nd Mangonel falls. MBL's Mangonel to the right is coming under attack as 2 knights chase his offensive army. Looks like it is being slaughtered by those knights. Oh my goodness. But you know what? He cleared up the mangoes. He cleared up the monks. On the other side of the map, it looks like his eagles have entered into the juicy farmlands and have been attacking villagers. Looks like he's gotten 5 more vill kills. And these eagles, cock of the walk right now, are just moving forward. To be fair, as long as he can keep Hera kind of pinned here and dancing back and forth while he on the other side of the map continues to try to get villagers, mission accomplished for these eagle warriors. Looks like 4 have become 3, 3 have become 2, 2 will soon become 1 as the last of the eagle does fall. MBL now trying to shove Hera out of this forward position. Get the hell off my lawn, says Walt Kowalski with a shotgun in his hands as he tries desperately, but I don't know that he can really, number one, fight uphill into a Mangonel, which I think there are 2 Mangonels here. Yeah, 2 Mangonels with skirmishers. And number 2, I don't think he's got the eagle numbers just yet. I don't think he's got the eagles. Now, eagle's not exactly the most food-intensive unit. That being said, they are still 20% cheaper right now. So instead of 25 food, they're only 20 food. which means you can train a good number of extra eagles, assuming you've got the gold for it. And MBL with 20 villagers on gold certainly does have the gold for it. Oh no. All right. 4 went the first time, 9 go the second time. Will Hera notice? Oh, he sees them. Why is this still open? Oh my goodness. Skirmishers. Shooing away skirmishers. Neither player having an army that can really overwhelm the other army in this portion of the map. We'll see what 9 Eagles can accomplish as they enter, again, the same farmlands. Okay, forget the farm. What are they going after? The gold? The wood? Oh, they're going straight for the glory here. Going more and more villagers. Immediately, in the blink of an eye, 4 more villagers fall. It looks like Hera is pressing into the front of MBL's position. But like I said, I don't think anyone in that front has the actual army composition and numbers to bust their way through into the opponent. I don't think MBL can really push out that far, and I don't think Hera can push that far in, especially now that he seems to have lost both his mangonels. More eagles coming from the north. Hera might want to put an outpost here, and just to keep an eye on when the hell this Incan reach around is going to be happening over and over again. Monk gets tethered. 2 monks get tethered to a converted knight. That being said, MBL's eagle count is slowly getting very dangerous. It's going up to 32. That being said, there are 21 knights already out on the map. More and more are streaming forward. I'm surprised that Hera does still have a villager here. No, okay. I was going to say I'm surprised that he's not plopping down stables here so that these knights don't really have to traverse that far to get to the front lines. Ooh. And now it's Hera's turn. He has 1 villager kill. Realizes that the front is open. We'll see how many kills those knights can get as the eagles again engage into a choke point uphill against monks. Mangonel pops out, but 1 volley is all it's going to get. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. He gets 2 volleys, kills a bunch of eagles. And now he's going after the monks. Does get them. Only 30 HP monks for our Inca. No fervor, no sanctity for these monks. And here comes an Incan Mangonel. Now, Incas, I think I've said this the last time I cast them, they don't actually get fervor unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, no fervor. So they're going to be as slow as they are, but sanctity is definitely something that would have helped against that Mangonel shot, at least for the adjacent monks. Hera having gutted the woodline, 17 kills, 7 of them villagers, is heading into the ooey gooey lollipop center of the Incan base. Eagles move in, eagles move out. What was the point of that? Did you just want to kind of see what your opponent has? Knights engage into the eagles, eagles engage into the knights. Mangonel shooing again. No player here has really any ability. Hera can't break this with the town center here, and MBL can't really break this just because Hera has a lot more army than he does, and a lot stronger army than he does. Mangonel does fall to the knights as they run away. Hera himself has climbed up to 11 villager kills to 20. He's got 50 more kills on the whole compared to his opponent. Okay, so it is open. So why the hell did Hera engage underneath the town center like 10 minutes ago and not go this way? No, another reach around by the Inca. I mean, MBL is definitely channeling Hera's energies right now, right? I mean, this is something Hera does. If you press into him, is he going to see the eagles? How did he miss them? Oh, he got just a tip. But did he notice? Doesn't seem like he noticed. Oh, that's so sour. This is what Hera does. When you press into him, you best make sure your base is completely walled in, because you know he's going to counterattack, and he's going to counterattack with a fury. And that is what MBL is doing now. Hera's base is just completely open to the left, completely open to the right. MBL sees the villagers. Oh no! This is going to be an absolute slaughter. Divides his eagles into 3 army groups. 1 to the right being attacked by knights, 1 to the left. Free range chickens are going to go and have an absolute field day, killing these villagers just like these gold miners. And MBL's vill kill count has jumped up to 28. We'll keep an eye on that, but a battle here in the center where finally we've got some pikemen out. They are underneath a TC, which is adding a good amount of DPS to the night kills. But unfortunately for them, there's a bunch of skirmishers there as well, which do come with an attack bonus against spearman line units. +4 is a pretty massive bonus against a 55 HP unit. Not too sure if this was ever walled in. Oh, Mangonel, why did you pop out? Oh. MBL making the best of an absolute terrible situation there. Hera's managed to claw his way up to 21 villager kills, but MBL's at 47 villager kills. Oh my god. Look at Hera's villager count. He's at 29 villagers 43 minutes into the game. The Incan reach around is just absolutely just destroying his economy. Oh yeah, let's see it. Not every day you see a group of villagers just absolutely surrounding and destroying an eagle. Although if you did watch my short from a few days ago, you will have seen villagers taking on penguins, which is, I guess, kind of similar. In any event, the Incan is back home. The Korean is abroad. Oh no, another group? No, okay. It seems like the Eagle Warriors he sends to the north come into the battlefield. Yeah, here we go. And the Eagles he sends to the south go to Hera's base. So if this was a poker game, we would have seen MBL's tail coming from a mile away now. Although watch these Eagles move into Hera's base and start attacking that way. I mean, now our Korean has a bit of a scary force here. Now, the good thing for our Incan is that I don't think Koreans get redemption. By the way, I love this new mechanism. Yeah, they don't get redemption. The parting of the clouds and the sunlight there. Oh no. We'll keep an eye on that. So if Hera had redemption, you best believe this archery range, these houses, this blacksmith and market would have probably been Korean by now. Okay, MBL is also not exactly at the highest villager count, but he's more than double his opponent. I don't think I've ever seen anyone keep Hera underneath 30 villagers for 46 minutes. This is just incredible. This is just absolutely bonkers. On the other side of the map, he's now gone up to 57 villager kills. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Incan villager switches allegiances, changes his jersey from blue to red rather. And now okay, so Hera walling himself in fantastically, has lost 58 villagers. Both players firmly in Castle Age, because how the hell are they ever going to get to Imperial with together? They don't even have 100 villagers. Eagle falls. One last offensive Eagle remains, and he is being chased to his death by these knights. MBL's taking the gold on the other side of the map, and here we go. Eagles close. They do come with a pretty juicy attack bonus against monks, by the way, +8, which means those monks didn't stand a frickin' chance. That being said, our Korean does have 3 Eagle Warriors of his own right now. So despite not standing a chance with their oh my god, dying breath and gasp of air, and I came out dasp. There you go. With their dying breath, they managed to convert 3 Eagle Warriors. Now it would be funny if our Korean sends those Eagle Warriors to the back of the Incan base. Not that there's anything in the back of the Incan base. Holy moly. By the way, MBL's base, as much as Hera's is pretty sparse and lackluster, having a massive 31 villagers, MBL's is not exactly much better. He's got more than double the villager count, but his primary stone still hasn't been touched. Yeah, it hasn't completely pristine. He's operating a gold shaft operation here to the left, but when both resources are on the same side, it just exposes them. Oh, and now the knight is going to try to get as much damage as he can. We'll see if the Eagles move forward to defend that. For now, they're shooing away a knight and some skirmishers. No iron casting. Why is it that players that go Eagle never get iron casting? There have been a few games lately. Oh my goodness. First, the villagers surrounded an Eagle. Now they're surrounding knights. What the actual hell is going on in this game? Another convocation is trying to reach around the back of this base. They're going to find some treacherous former friends of theirs. Oh, now there are 2 knights. Look, the villagers... number one, probably shouldn't have taken that fight. But when they did not a terrible job at reducing the HP on these Korean knights. Koreans, one of the civs that doesn't get bloodline, so 100 HP is pretty much as good as it's going to get for these units. The last converted eagle does fall, as the last offensive eagle falls as well. And yet another band of eagles from the south is moving out. I mean, this is just an endless wave of eagles. I'm gonna have to like I said, I'm gonna name this the Incan Reach Around. This is like an MBL specialty right now with the eagles. Oh, okay, wait a second. No, if only that monk realized ahead of time what was happening to it. That villager does not even, I have no point even looking at that battle. That villager has zero chance in hell. Zero bonus against building. Does he not have where am I looking? Yeah, he doesn't have arson yet. Okay. Well, not that he needs arson with his base open to the left in 2 locations. Did Hera just delete his palisades, or did the eagles kill the palisades? Oh, and now skirmishers are firing on, oh no, pikemen while the eagles close in on them. Now the army count is 40 to 28. Hera has been on 31 villagers for the last 10 to 15 minutes. MBL skyrocketing to 69, and wow. MBL with the Incan Reach Around. 67 dead villagers. If you were to add the 67, what's the difference between here? 34? If you were to add 34, it would be a 62 to 69. Both players ripping into each other's economy, but holy moly, MBL with the never-ending eagle backstab manages to take the W. But what, I mean, in the center here, I'm trying to think what Hera could have done. If he had redemption, I think he could have probably done a lot more damage. And maybe if his he added 1 or 2 more mangonels earlier on. There was at one point where he was added 1 mangonel to the 3 of MBLs and tried maybe to bust his way through a different location. I mean, he's obviously seen this gold with that one knight that was attacking the villagers here. Yeah, he hasn't even seen any of this. I don't think you see the farm in Capture Age when you don't see the structure. I don't think Hera saw the farms. He did a good job gutting this wood line, which is now being replenished. But at the end of the day, MBL, holy moly, lost 70 more units than his opponent, but killed double the economy. Let's take a look at the numbers. That was I mean, number one, to hold against Hera is not exactly the easiest task in the world. And number 2, to hold against Hera while half of your army is constantly being sent across the map for you to micro and kill as many villagers as possible is also not the easiest thing. And to do them together at the same time, maybe that's why Hera didn't have enough units. Maybe that's why Hera didn't have enough oomph, enough bullets in the chamber, because he just couldn't afford it. His economy constantly being gutted, constantly having to replenish his villager count does take away food from your spearmen and your knights. And what a fantastic way to end the game on this. This is like a little mini pewter, 25 millimeter pewter miniature of a skirmisher throwing a javelin. Wow, super fun game. 75 knights, 150 eagles, skirmisher to skirmisher, mangonel, 12 mangonels. If only they had come out more than 1 or 2 at a time, maybe he could have demolished some of these structures a little bit better. Definitely needed an outpost here for the constant, or maybe, you know what, maybe even build a wall right across here, a nice palisade wall, just to keep those eagles from attacking you, from double teaming you and your army, which happened multiple times. Peak APM for Hera, his usual 2 to 3 at the beginning of the game, and then towards the middle of the game for our Incan. How bad do we think the economy is? You know what, for for having double the economy, this is not bad at all. I mean, it's bad, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's good. I'm very much saying it's bad, but it's not as bad as it should be. Let's put it like that. 8 whole stone was mined the entire game. That is really, by the way, were they both just on 1 TC? No. MBL on a 2nd TC here. That Hera saw, obviously, with his units as those knights were engaging underneath it. So he must have bought that stone. I must have missed the purchasing of the stone, because he sold, I think, his 200 stone initially and only mined 8. And as good as the Incas are with their 15% stone discount, it's not a 92% stone discount. So 8 does not buy you jack nothing. 7,000 more wood, food not that dissimilar, gold not that dissimilar, nobody going after the relics. 8 conversions out of 243 is a juicy 3% of the Incan army. 3 out of 137 is nice and 2%. So conversion not really playing a role. Hera destroying 9 buildings, but apparently none of them critical, because MBL has held this position for at least 25 minutes. And now finally has the army, after a few questionable engagements where he pushed uphill in a choke point against mangonels and monks and knights, does finally manage to overrun. At least it looks like he's about to overrun this position. The Eagles, did he get... Was I looking at the Korean arson earlier when I was thinking about the Incas? No, I think I was looking at the blue one. He still does not have arson, and so these units are not going to take down buildings very quickly. But the buildings be damned. Who cares about buildings? You killed 67 of your enemy villagers. You have kept Hera at 31 villagers for the majority of the game, down to 28, and MBL with the absolute boss hold, while simultaneously harrying Hera with the Incan reach around, absolutely guts the Korean economy. Our Korean is unable, therefore, to put all of the pressure that he would like to, because he just can't afford it, while having to defend at home with knights and villagers running around all the time. And this is an absolute ghost town of a Korean settlement. MBL with the fancy offense-defense combo does take the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.